will try really hard not to say your names, but I might slip up and do that. My apologies. Let's see. Yep. This is called the dot plot because there's dots. They can also do X's, like whatever's easiest. That's what you do. That's what they do. Each dot represents something. Like if we did a dot plot of ages for each one of you, there would be a dot. So let me do this. I want to do this in order actually, because there's certain things. Some of these super easy, but it's also super easy to make a mistake. So this is the dot plot represents a number of goals. We don't really care what it represents. We just want to answer the question here. How many games have the students played? It should be how many goals have they scored. We're just going to ignore that question for now. How many total? Count up the dots. What do you think it is? 11? Maybe. Let's give it a try. Ooh, 11 dots. Okay. Total points. This one, again, not really hard, but easy to make a mistake. What's the shortest time someone spent brushing their teeth? See how the number line goes to 0.5? That's not the shortest time. That's just the smallest number on the number line. What's the shortest time? 1. Okay. I'm not even going to submit that one because I think we're good with that. 1. So that's called the minimum. Maximum. What's the highest? 100. The lowest is 60. Oh, you know what? What the heck? Let's do, oh, good to see you. I'm not going to go to a different problem. We have the highest, the lowest. There's also they're going to ask you about the range. The range is the biggest minus the smallest. So you would do 100 minus 60, and the range is 40. Okay, range is just the biggest minus the smallest. They could ask you, we might as well do this now. Can everybody see these points? Okay. They could ask you for the mean and the median. Last period revolted when they had to do this. The mean is the same thing as that X with the bar, and the median is the MED. How would you find the average, the mean, with these dots? What do you think? Add all the numbers and divide by how many. No matter how you do this, it's a pain in the neck. So what Jackie is saying, what the student is saying, is you do 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 65 plus 65 plus, that's annoying. You could also do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 65s, so you could do 5 times 65 plus 2 times, 60. 2 times 65 plus 3 times 70. There's another way you could do this. It's not really any easier. How could you use your calculator to find the mean? Stat edit. So what I want you guys to do right now, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Find the mean. Just find the mean right now. Whether you add them all up or put them in stat edit, however you best can do this.
If we were putting them in stat edit, would we just put the numbers like down the bottom?
You would put in stat edit, good question, 60, 60, 60, 60, 60. Ew. 65, 65. It's not hard, but it's tedious and it's super easy to make a mistake. but we're practicing it, and you might maybe get one of these on a test. So better to. So this is just calculator tricks. Okay, this is all different tricks. So you just type. You know how we used to add at 60, 60, 60. So you type 5 of those. Uh-huh. Yep, and you keep typing. I'm gonna pause this for a sec. So I only saw a couple people's, but what I saw was the mean was 76.8. Okay, so that's 3 people that got the same thing. I did see another person, I'm recording, so I'm not saying your name.
Yeah.
That got like 74 point something. Chances are you just missed a dot here or there. And hopefully, say it was a multiple choice, you go, oh, well, it's close enough to that. I must have just messed up a little bit. So our mean is 76.8. For those of you who did stat edit, what did you get for the median? Go ahead. 75? 75, right? Okay. I'm going to show you how to do the median without the calculator. It's not as hard as the mean. Okay. So our median is the middle. Super scientific. I'm just going to cross off matchers. Match. 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 Annoying. It's fun. It's a lot of dots. This is one of my least favorite units because it's so tedious and my shoulder's hurting and then I lose focus and forget what I've done. So I'm just crossing off until I get to the middle. 75. Stat edit is a little bit easier, I think.
That's how we could be answered. I have to do the other things.
Well, did you find the mean yet? Okay, stat edit. Stat edit will do it all for you. And we're gonna do new stuff on Monday that we'll have to use stat edit for anyway. But it's good to know multiple ways to do a problem. Let me just take a peek and make sure I didn't miss any. Frequency. I think we're good with that kind. Now, this is where it just all went downhill. This is going to ask you certain questions. Oops. No. So you have 2 different sets of data, 2 different dot plots, and then you got to do a drop down here. And it says the mean of data set C is blank than the mean of this one. You have to compare. I think I might change this and make people do 1 for these.
Yeah.
So we're going to split up. We're going to divide and conquer without physically splitting up. This side of the room, I want you guys to find the mean of data set C. And then this side of the room, you're going to find the mean of this one. And then we'll compare and find the answer. And I will pause the video until we're ready to come. Okay. What did we get for a mean? Go ahead.
For me, I got 51.36.
Same? Okay. 51.36. If you got something close to that, it's probably good. Did anybody else over here get 51.36? Okay. How about the data set D on this side? What'd you get?
54.6.
54.6. Unfortunately, these are very close. Because if you made a mistake on one, then it could make a difference. Did anybody else get this? Okay, cool. So now we have to compare. Remember, this is called data set C, and this is called data set D. So now we have to answer a question. The mean of data set C, is that bigger or smaller than this one? Smaller. So on the drop down, you would do this. Okay, and now the range. I'll show you how to do the range. Big number, minus little number. So that's a 6. And here, that's a 59 minus little number. So we have to read. And if this showed up on a Regents, if you get test read, ask to have it read more than once. If you're in the gym and you're like, can you just read this for me? I'm sure somebody would just read it because it's easy to get messed up. The range of data set C is blank than D. So is this range bigger or smaller? Okay, smaller. What's your question?
Why didn't you use 59?
I looked where the dots are. Good question. So without saying names, this person in the front said for the range, why didn't you use that? There were no dots there. So I looked for the biggest number that had dots. Because these arrows mean it goes on forever. So that's why. Good question.
Didn't you the biggest number, like not including the dots, would have the same thing?
Right, 59 minus 49, that would be the same thing. So then I'm gonna hit submit. Oh wait, I got to turn my mouse back on. And that's your answer. So you guys have 23 minutes. Finish this assignment. And for those of you watching at home, we say